So one challenge that Myanmar learners have is that sometimes they put equal stress on all syllables in words and in all words in a sentence. So for example, instead of saying photograph, some Myanmar learners might say photograph. Similarly, in this sentence, yesterday I went to the shop. Some Myanmar learners might say, yesterday I went to the shop. So with no stress at all and everything having an equal kind of stress. But don't get stressed about teaching stress. There are some useful techniques that we can apply in our class.
Hello and welcome to Taking English. I'm your host, Thu.
And my name is Fiacra. So, in the last episode, we looked at individual sounds. For example, t plus e equals t, k, o, fi. Put them together and you get coffee.
Huh? It's not coffee. It should be coffee. You're not stressing the correct syllable.
Yes, you are right. Coffee has two syllables, cough and e, and we should put the stress on a certain syllable.
So, a syllable is made up of a vowel sound alone or a combination of a vowel and one or more consonants. Tea has just one syllable, but coffee has two syllables.
It is important then to put the stress on the correct syllable.
Well, most of the time people will still understand you if you say coffee, but if you want to sound natural, you need to use the correct stress.
Also, sometimes it can cause confusion. For example, dessert and desert. After dinner, I love to eat dessert.
Well, you can't eat desert. It's a place and camels normally live in the desert.
So it's important to use the correct word stress. Now, what is stress?
Imagine I'm going to teach you this word, amazing. Okay, let's listen to this word, amazing. Amazing. How many syllables are there?
3.
That's amazing. Now, listen again and decide which syllable is louder, longer, has a change in pitch, and is clearly pronounced. Amazing.
The second syllable.
Perfect. Now, that is word stress. Repeat after me. Amazing.
Amazing.
Okay, I'm going to say this word 3 times. The first time, just listen. Amazing. Now, second time, listen and whisper the word amazing.
Amazing.
Now, third time, listen and repeat after me. Amazing.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Now, I'm going to say 3 more words. Think of how you would teach these words to your learners. Think of the stages we just did.
Photograph, photography, photographic.
With word stress, are there any patterns? Or how do we know which syllable is stressed if we see a new word?
Well, there are some patterns that we can teach students. So for example, if a word is a noun or an adjective and it has 2 syllables, the stress is likely to be on the first syllable. For example, player, yellow, handsome, dancer. Also, for words that can be used as both verbs and nouns, for example, export, the noun has stress on the first syllable, export, and the verb tends to have stress on the second syllable, export. So for example, UK exports have dropped this year, the noun. Ireland exports beef to Asia, the verb.
Again, there are patterns and it's not 100% correct all the time.
So, we have talked about word stress. Let's move on to sentence stress now. There are lots of similarities between both, so listen to this sentence. I wish I was tall like my brother.
Yeah, so verbs, nouns, and adjectives usually carry stress because they carry the meaning. So in this sentence, I wish I was tall like my brother. You can place more stress on the most important word in the sentence or the meaning that you want to convey.
So, for example, the boy in the blue shirt, like not the boy in the green shirt. Or I could say, the boy in the blue shirt, not the girl in the blue shirt. You could also say, the boy in the blue shirt. Not the boy in the blue shorts, for example.
So, how do we teach sentence stress in the class? Well, we can raise the learner's awareness that words that carry meaning are usually stressed, and that depending on your message, you might want to put stress on different words.
So one challenge that Myanmar learners have is that sometimes they put equal stress on all syllables in words and in all words in a sentence. So for example, instead of saying photograph, some Myanmar learners might say photograph. Similarly, in this sentence, yesterday I went to the shop. Some Myanmar learners might say, yesterday I went to the shop. So with no stress at all and everything having an equal kind of stress. But don't get stressed about teaching stress. There are some useful techniques that we can apply in our class.
It's important to mark the syllable or word that is stressed. You can underline the syllable or word, make it bigger or bolder on the board or screen, or use different colors. Whatever you have decided to use, be consistent though.
I like to use little circles. So I'll have a larger circle over the, let's say, syllable that is stressed, and then two smaller circles over the unstressed syllables. So let's say, for example, amazing. So I'll have a tiny circle above it. May, large circle. Zing, small circle. You can also use clapping. For example, clap loudly for stressed words. I love to eat mohinga. I love to eat mohinga. So just adding something extra in makes it more fun for learners. You can just play around with it and see what learners react to. I'm sorry, all I can think about is eating mohinga right now.
I'll make one for you tomorrow.
You can also use kinesthetic or physical activities. So something I like to do in class is give a small group of students a word or a sentence. So let's use the same word, amazing. You have 3 students in the group. They have to model this word and the stress in the word through movement. So if 3 students are sitting down next to each other, the first person says, they stay seated. The second person jumps up, may. Third student sits down, zing. And they present that to the class. So doing some type of activity like that, students love it. One last technique we will mention is asking your students to guess which syllable is stressed. So asking them which way of pronouncing this word sounds most English. So I'll demonstrate that now with do, okay? So, can you say this word? Happiness. Can you say it in all 3 ways? The first syllable.
Happiness.
The second syllable.
Happiness.
Third syllable.
Happiness.
Which one sounds most natural?
Well, it's the first one.
Don't say the second one, that sounds like another word that we're not going to talk about. Yes, there's a few different activities you can do with your learners. We hope we have taken the stress out of teaching stress, and if you enjoy this episode, please share it, please send it to a colleague or like it, whatever you want to do. Show us some love.
This is Healing English, where we brew knowledge, sip inspiration, and connect with a vibrant community of teachers.
Happy teaching!